Hey, good morning. Melissa here from GirlGoneFishing. I am all packed up and ready to head up to Hueston Woods State Park for the Cincinnati Kayak Fishing Acton Lake tournament today. So I've been to Acton Lake, I think, for 2 different tournaments, so I've got a little bit of experience on it. There's only one ramp, there's not a lot of decisions to be made. It is going to be 98 degrees real heat with light winds, and heat index with the humidity is going to be even higher than that. So I'm not even taking my GoPro today. It's just going to shut down in the heat, and I'm just not going to deal with it. And then I started thinking, well, if I don't take my fish finder, I don't have to carry the giant battery, and then maybe I can get my kayak up in one of these little shady creeks and find some fish. So that's going to be the plan. I'm going bare bones today. No camera, no fish finder, no big battery, fewer rods than normal, and I'm going to try to get up the creek and see if I can get some fish that the other kayaks can't get to. So that's the plan, and gotta head to the ramp, so I'll see you up there. All right, it's 5:30. That's the time that we're allowed to launch and start pedaling out to our spots. Lines in is 6 o'clock, so I've got 30 minutes to get to a good starting spot. I'm actually going to start by going up this creek. So when I fished a tournament here, I feel like it might have been 2 years ago, I went up the creek and I did really well. I got 9th in the tournament. That was one of my best in-person placings ever. So I think I'm going to try it again, go up the creek to start, and then if it doesn't work, I'll come back out and hit the main lake. So there is definitely more water in this creek than the last couple years when I've been back here. It's always been a little bit of a struggle to get my kayak past certain points, and today it just floated no problem. So there was a combination of the kayak's a lot lighter because I don't have the battery and all that stuff, but just on the whole, I can tell there's a lot more water in this creek. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects the fish. I don't know if I'll ever get over how nervous I am taking off in the dark and how thankful I am when the sun starts to come up. It is just such a huge relief when the sun starts to peek up and I can start to see what's around me, because man, otherwise I just freak out. I kind of just grit my teeth and do it, but ooh. So I've got about 20 minutes till line's in. I'm already to where I want to be to start, and now I just have to wait. Maybe tie on a couple new things and get everything ready to go, because once it's lines in, I got to hit it hard and try to capitalize on the morning bite. Recently, I've been putting so much pressure on myself to have better results, to perform better in fishing, that I've really kind of managed to take some of the fun out of it. I felt like I had to set the bar higher, like raise my standards, raise my expectations in order to keep pushing myself to improve. But basically what I've done is just make myself feel like a huge failure after every tournament because I don't meet those expectations, that higher bar that I've been, wanting to try to match. But my goal was I really wanted to get a trophy this year, and yet I'm just doing terrible. Like, my results are just really bad. So I have decided today, new attitude. I am not going to be grumpy about it. I'm not going to feel like a failure no matter what happens, because I'm trying my hardest, and that's all I can ask for myself. And there is improvement. It's slower than I wanted. It's slower than I expected, but there is improvement. So today my goal is just to fish smart, fish hard, and stay positive the whole day, even after the tournament's over, and not be so hard on myself. I gotta go back to remembering why I like this, and then maybe I'll start catching fish. So here we go, 5 more minutes. Okay, I got fish number 1, 13 1/4 inches on the board. All right, we got fish number 2, 13 1/2 inches, working towards that 5 fish limit. All right, fish number 3, 11 inches. Since this is Cincinnati Kayak Fishing, it's an 8-inch minimum, so he counts, but I'm hoping that I don't need them. I'm hoping I get bigger ones. But we've got 3 towards the 5 fish limit. So far, 2 of the fish have come on a weightless Senko, and 1 of the fish has come on a Ned rig with a Z-Man TRD. So here's number 5, 13 1/2. I've got 5 tiny little fish, and now it's time to start going upgrading, get some big fish. But to get 5 fish on Acton Lake is a good thing. I don't care how small they are, but some of them are the Cincinnati Kayak Fishing under 12 inches because Cincinnati Kayak Fishing allows 8-inch fish. So now my next goal is to get an actual 5 fish limit of 12 fish, 12-inch fish. So like a legal limit. All right, let's keep fishing. Got my first little call. He's 12 and a half, so he's gonna knock out one of those 10s. Making a little progress. It's been a while since I caught a fish, so this is nice. Again, weightless Senko. So yesterday when I was fishing Acton Lake, I was fishing a part of the lake that didn't have any cell service. Like I had no bars. And when I tried to submit my first couple fish, it just wouldn't make a connection with the app. Like, you know, it just kept spinning and spinning. So I decided that I would take pictures of my fish as I caught them and then just go fishing, you know, not worry about it, and take advantage of the 30-minute submission period between 3 o'clock and 3:30 when they give you a chance to submit fish, like back at the ramp if you have bad cell service or you can't see in the sunlight or whatever happens, you know. So everything was going according to plan. I got back to the ramp at like 3:05 and started trying to submit, and the app wouldn't let me in. The tournament, it said I was closed, like the tournament was closed, the tournament was over. So it was all grayed out, wouldn't let me poke on it. So the panic starts building. I asked a couple other people at the ramp to try because, you know, user error with me is always a huge possibility, but it wasn't me. It was actually just would not do it. I turned the phone off and back on. It still wouldn't work. And the panic started to kick in as the moments ticked away because I really wanted these Angler of the Year points because I really want to qualify for the Tournament of Champions this year. It's a huge goal of mine. And if I got a 0 in this tournament, it was just basically gonna like assure that I couldn't make it. When I did hear back from the tournament director, it was 3:35, and he said unfortunately the tournament had, you know, closed and nothing could be done. So I accepted that. I figured that was just the way the universe was going to do it this day, and I was going to be okay with that. I was going to have to accept it and just move on. So when I was on the highway driving home, I got a call from the tournament director, and he said that with my screenshots showing the timestamped and the app being grayed out, he realized that it was actually a technical glitch and it wasn't my fault. It wasn't user error, and because of that, he was able to reopen the tournament, and if I emailed him my fish, he would submit them manually for me. And at first I felt really bad because I didn't want to hold up the standings and all this stuff. This is a big failing of mine. It's always, oh, I don't want to impose on anyone, you know. But he assured me that this wasn't like doing me a favor or anything like that. This was actually, you know, the standard procedure because it had been a technical glitch that kept me from being able to submit the fish. So I ended up placing 11th out of 36, and I feel really good about that. But I have to be honest, once the trauma from thinking that all my fish weren't going to count started to fade, I actually started to feel good about the day anyway. I had used past experience to make good decisions about where to start. I got a small limit. I kept upgrading. I fished in a way that I don't really enjoy with weightless Senkos and a lot of Ned rigs, but I got it done. I got some fish. I got a limit on a really tough day, and it was actually a legal limit. Cincinnati Kayak Fishing allows you like 8-inch fish, but I managed to get 5 12-inch fish. So on the whole, I'm really proud of the day, and I'm proud of not having a complete and total emotional breakdown at the ramp when all this was going on. But I do have to say I skipped the measure in. I was going to anyway because the lake was under an E. coli bacteria warning, and I was all dirty and grubby, and it was 98 degrees, and I needed to get home and shower that stuff off me. So I'm sorry to Hamilton Bait and Tackle for missing out on it. And everyone, go shop at Hamilton Bait and Tackle because they're a great local business and they support the tournament trails and they support the local anglers. So thank you guys, and I'm sorry I missed out on the measure in. Next time I'm not covered in sweat and E. coli, I will come visit you guys. I want to say a huge thank you to Strictly Sailing Kayak. They're awesome, and they're always doing great things for the tournament trails, the local anglers, and they're always there to help me personally. And thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And to you guys that have been following along all these years, I mean, it's wild, isn't it? I started off not knowing anything, and sometimes there's a little glimmer of hope that I might be learning something and I might be getting better. So fingers crossed, we keep going in the right direction. But I really appreciate the support and the encouragement. So thank you guys, and I will see you on the water on the next one.